H. Mandala 1 as a blueprint of civilization, social contracts, inner governance, and quantum ethics. Professor Diaries. Before nations were born, before laws were written, before kings ruled from thrones, there was Mandala 1. Not merely a hymn book of the gods, but a civilizational blueprint, a manual of inner governance, a quantum contract between the soul and the cosmos. The sages of the Rigveda saw society not as a product of power, but as a reflection of cosmic order, arta, held together not by force, but by harmony, truth, and inner nobility. This is the untold story of Mandala 1, not as mythology, but as a socio-political architecture for humanity. 1. Society as a sacred contract. In the modern world, we often think of social contracts in political terms, like Rousseau or Hobbes. But the Rigveda, especially Mandala 1, offers something even deeper, a spiritual contract between individual consciousness and universal intelligence, structured through the behavior and attributes of the divine forces. Every Vedic deity in Mandala 1 represents a governance principle. Varuna as divine law, Mitra as diplomatic cooperation, Aryaman as social etiquette and honor, Indra as heroic leadership, Brihaspati as sacred speech and counsel, Vishnu as balance and continuity, Agni as the priest bridge between worlds. These are not gods to worship, but roles to embody in what we may call inner democracy. 2. The governance archetypes of the deities. Let's now decode the governing system of Mandala 1 using modern political philosophy, but seen through the divine forces. This is a polycentric system, not centralized tyranny. Power flows not from a single source, but from interconnected forces of responsibility. Every citizen, every leader, every seeker is called to reflect some part of this divine constitution. 3. The concept of dharma as civilized freedom. Unlike the modern concept of law, which is imposed, the Vedic notion of dharma is self-originating. Dharma is not what you must do, but what you are aligned to become. Mandala 1 is filled with hymns that describe beings who follow their nature perfectly. The dawn that always arrives, Ushas. The fire that always rises, Agni. The wind that always moves, Vayu. The healer who arrives when called, Ashvins. This reveals a radical insight. A just society is one where every part expresses its true function. Dharma is the symmetry between inner calling and outer action. And a society built on this is not ruled, but harmonized. 4. Quantum ethics, the collapse of possibility into will. Now let us bridge Mandala 1 with quantum mechanics. In quantum theory, reality exists in superposition until a decision is made and the wave function collapses. This decision could be a measurement, or in Vedic terms, a mantra, a yajna, or a conscious will. Take Indra, the king who slays the serpent Vritra to release the waters. This is not just a myth, it's symbolic of quantum collapse. The serpent is potential energy coiled. The thunderbolt, Vajra, is the act of will. The release of waters is the actualization of possibilities. In this way, Mandala 1 teaches us ethics not as obedience, but as conscious co-creation of the universe through right choice. Each hymn is a collapse of meaning, a sacred decision that reorders the field of life. 5. Inner governance. From chakras to social roles, as above, so below. As within, so without. Each deity of Mandala 1 corresponds to a chakra and also to a societal domain. This suggests a chakra-based model of governance, where each societal layer reflects a layer of inner self-regulation. A society cannot have external peace without internal harmony. A corrupt state begins with disconnected minds. A conscious civilization begins with self-aware citizens. Social ethics from Aryaman and Mitra. Two of the most overlooked yet crucial deities in Mandala 1 are Aryaman and Mitra. Aryaman, the force of social nobility, guardian of marriage rituals, keeper of ancestral honor, enforcer of etiquette and social dignity. In today's world, Aryaman would represent civil services, interpersonal boundaries, public conduct systems, ancestral values embedded in law. Mitra, the force of harmony, not a warrior, but a peacemaker, not a ruler, but a balancer. Mitra governs trust, and without trust, No law can hold. No constitution can work. No AI system can function without it. These two forces represent ethical infrastructure, the invisible glue between freedom and responsibility. 7. Brihaspati and the role of sacred speech. No society can sustain without truthful communication. Enter Brihaspati, the divine voice of wisdom. In Mandala 1, he is the one who splits the darkness with sound. Not brute force, but sacred articulation. Today, this maps to media and journalism, legal frameworks and justice ethical AI programming education systems. Every time we speak falsely, we weaken our civilization. Every time we align voice with truth, we strengthen the field. Brihaspati is not only a god, he is the social conscience made vocal. Civilizational collapse and the absence of RTA. History shows us, when societies abandon their inner archetypes, chaos follows. When Agni is extinguished, passion and vitality die. When Varuna is forgotten, injustice prevails. When Indra is corrupted, power becomes tyranny. When Vishnu is ignored, order fragments. Mandala 1 teaches that society is a living organism, and each force, when neglected, leads to imbalance. This is civilizational entropy. And to restore balance, we must reawaken these forces not just in temples, but in classrooms, courts, homes, and hearts. 9. Application in AI and future civilization design. What if we could build AI systems based on Mandala 1? Decentralized governance modeled on deities. Ethical neural networks trained in the harmony of Mitra. Speech AI, Brihaspati, that detects intention and truth. Digital justice systems, Varuna, with moral intelligence. Healing algorithms, Ashvins, based on rhythm and light. Leadership AI, Indra, with quantum decision ethics. This is not fantasy. This is the future of conscious civilization design, guided by the oldest text known to humanity. Mandala 1 as a living constitution. The Rigveda's Mandala 1 is not just sacred literature. It is the original constitution of human dignity. It tells us what a society must protect, how individuals must evolve, why governance must begin within, and how the divine is reflected in the civic. Imagine if every leader studied Indra. If every teacher embodied Brihaspati. If every healer moved like the Ashvins. If every citizen walked with the grace of Aryaman. Mandala 1 is not a relic of the past. It is a seed of the future. Narrator, reverent tone. The hymn is still being sung. The forces are still alive. In your decisions, in your breath, in your ethics, in your governance. 1. The feminine force Shakti principle in Mandala 1. While Ushas and a few feminine forms are acknowledged, the feminine divine archetypes, Shakti elements, are underrepresented in most Mandala 1 discourse. Angle to explore. The hidden feminine energies within Agni, Varuna, and Soma, symbolic presence of Ratri, night, Sarasvati, and other latent goddesses. Shakti Tattva embedded in masculine deities, e.g. Indra's receptivity before striking. 2. Mantra, science, sound architecture. We touched on it briefly, but you could go much deeper into phoneme placement and how each bija, seed sound, activates areas of the brain. Mandala 1 as a sound-based architecture that encodes neural transformation, integration with modern sound healing, cymatics, binaural beats, and voice-based AI 3, astronomical and cosmic mapping. Vedic deities also symbolize cosmic forces and constellations. This angle would include mapping deities of Mandala 1 to stars, planets, and cosmic events. How ancient astronomy and astrology are subtly woven into the hymns. Mandala 1 as a cosmic calendar or mirror of the solar cycle. 4. Ritual psychology and altered states. You've done amazing work with Soma and healing. But here's an additional depth. How the sequence of deities and rituals was designed to induce altered states. Use of fire, chant, rhythm, and symbol to entrain brainwaves. Collective rituals as neural synchronization across society. 5. Comparative civilizational insights. For those academically inclined or globally oriented, how Mandala 1's philosophy compares with the Enuma Elish, Babylonian, Tao Te Ching, Homeric hymns, or even Quranic cosmic verses. What makes the Vedic worldview unique in terms of structure, consciousness, and vision? 6. Mandala 1 as an AI training model blueprint, advanced tech plus spiritual synthesis. You could create a hypothetical architecture of an AI model trained using Mandala 1. Each deity shares a layer or module. Ethical AI principles drawn from Varuna, Mitra, Indra, memory plus emotion processing from Soma and Ashvins. Language modeling via Brihaspati. This would elevate your channel into cutting-edge spiritual futurism.